What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be back. It is your dude, Mike Worth. What's up? All right, we're trying a even newer setup today. We're gonna have the we're gonna get the logo right out of my face right away. Here we go. Trying a new setup here. Playing graphic designer. I gotta put time into that, but. Welcome everybody, and we are here today, and we are going to do something fun, but also a little bit educational, right? Like as we always like to do. So we got Pretzel Radio pushing tunes today. Really excited about that. That's a really wonderful service. So they're going to be putting the tracks in the chat. So that's going to be coming up. So, and Nightbot is going to be enforcing. So that's how it goes. All right. So we are going to draw and paint today one of my styled things. And I'm just looking, my coffee's out of reach, terrible. We're going to do a herring, a fried herring, because, yeah, why not? No, why are we doing a fried herring? Two reasons. One is I had no idea how, what a cool... Vincent van Gogh painting this is, and it's been in like the news lately and stuff like that. And I saw it and I was like, started thinking about it, read a little bit about it, and then I started thinking about growing up and eating herring and fried fish, and just that's I was like, I've seen that fish drive-throughs, fish camps, fish fries. Really wonderful North Carolina thing. But then also I remember as a kid, and pickled things. So pickled fish, white fish on bagels, on Jewish holidays, things like that. So, I started thinking, man, those worlds are starting to collide for me. And I thought that'd be cool if I did, keep up with my theme of making Jewish things, painting them and drawing them, exploring them. And I thought, let's do it. Let's do like this fish on paper, right? Just like Van Gogh. So there's a history here of things, and then also I was delighted to read that there's a little bit of Jewish history when it comes to fried fish, and that fried fish were brought by Sephardic merchants coming from Iberia, going up to the UK, and as we know, it's such a UK classic. Ugh. Right, fish and chips. We don't have the chips here. Maybe fish and latkes is that's so much fried food. It's intense. So all right, so we're gonna get into this. I got the drawing started, kind of loose, rough one. I really just was like exploring paper shapes and the fish itself. Just kind of what it has in it, and I tried to capture major elements and stuff. And we're gonna have fun with it and play with. Just how this kind of thing is really dealt with. Right now, it just looks like a regular old fish on a thing, but you could just drop this big fish into a fryer, and that would be enough. But all right, let's get into it here. All right, so looking at the fish first and foremost, we're going to start to work on color flats, right? So I have my sketch here, and my sketch is really just here. If I loosen my pencil a little bit. Just kind of come back in and understand that the fish is really like two big parts, and it's this area, the head, and the head is really like this kind of shape, at least for this fish, the herring, right? And then the other part is the body, right? I guess there's three major parts. The body kind of sits a little bit separate. It's like this weird thing, like how fish are built. It's just they're like kind of two pieces, and then the tail, right? That's really the combination of things. And then you can add all the accoutrement, all the what would you call it? Like the tails, the fins, all the parts of them that make them swim. And some have real interesting ones, that are there. You can see these are like the kind of like mooring kind of effect that's going on there. And by the way, I got this new camera here right? Hopefully it helps you guys kind of see like how I'm navigating as then the iPad is happening. You know, that's important. Okay, and then the fish eye, right, where that is. Boom. All right, looks like a Pokemon fish. It's essentially the matrix, right? When you think about the way you would construct a character, you know, the matrix of the fish is really all those pieces. So let's say goodbye to that, and then let's start to play with, oh, I erased some of the drawing. Let's start to play with getting these fills going here, right? So I'm working in a high-res document, and that means, here, if we go to the canvas, we'll look at the info here, go to the dimensions, right? You can see this is my current dimension set, and this is what is going to allow me to make this into a nice print. I've been enjoying having the prints sent in. Oh God, I realize you can see like right under my face when we're looking at the bottom with the secondary cam. Okay, so we got the fish going here, and eventually we're gonna learn how to flip this. That's how it's gonna go. So it's fill time. All right, so we've got now a background color, and you know, let's do one of my background colors. I've got it already kind of plugged in there. There we go. You can see, so always painting at night, so things are going to become real dark like that. And we've got layer 2, which is our sketch, and then we're going to add another layer there. I don't know why it's called layer 2 again, but it's all good. This is going to be our fills. Okay, so what I need is my everyday monoline round brush, and this is like my most versatile brush, and this lets me, you know, really just go to fill town with this and make it happen. Okay, so I want to think about like the color of the fish. I mean, I think I want the fish to be like kind of golden when I think about fried fish. So what I'm doing here is I'm making a fill, right? So I'm going off of the sketch, and I'm going to make fills now of the areas that I want to have be single color and to kind of manage. Okay, so there's one fill area, right? Kapow. So I bring that in, right? And all it is a shape. We can clean it up, and we're going to build on top of this, okay? In fact, let's, this is the wonderful thing about digital, is that we're going to flip the layers so that we can really see what we're working with here, because when I start to cover the line, I obviously lose some of what I'm doing. So, yeah, you get it. Okay, and then we're going to shift to be, let's go like a more of an orange color here. And then here I'll cut back in. And now I'm not making a new layer, I'm just painting a new area, because when you paint high res on the iPad, it's like painting in real life. You have to be able to, you know, really understand that like you have limited layers here. I'm going to switch now to tail color so that this does not look like genitalia. It just keeps. There we go. Cool. We'll make this smaller. And I'm just So I'm basically just making big drawn loops, right, as a way to do that. Dope. Okay. All right, so we're getting fills in here, and it's not beautiful. Nope, by no means. In fact, it's like it's a dead fish. All right. Yep. All right. Okay, so I've laid the fills in now, and like those really just are there because we're going to start to use the selection tool. And as we use the selection tool with the automatic, you'll see I can choose areas, right? And like that's what I want to start doing, is start to now grab areas and then just make those into spaces that I'm going to shade, right? Because I can isolate them. That's the whole point, is that like I'm using the fills here as like a stencil system. And this will be one of my layers, and I'll start to work on this layer, work up the work. You know, meaning add my different shading and highlight layers and things like that as it goes. So that's gonna be cool. All right, let's get some paper going here. All right, I'm limited. Okay, so I probably should have done the paper first. Yeah, it would have been smart, Mike. All right, because now I got to do it like where I got to go around. Okay, let's get some terracotta. Actually, yeah, I want to kind of take advantage of. Yeah, this has like some. There we go. Cool. And then some curves and crinkles. Cool. So I didn't do myself a favor. I should have done the paper first. But it's all good. I can cut it back. In fact, like I'd probably want to do this like in real life if I was really trying to stick with my drawing. But that's the thing, is that like you can't see your drawing in real life superimposed like this. All right, like that's the cool thing. So we got to think like, how could you make that kind of tool mobile? And you know, closest thing right now to like bridge the analog to digital space when it comes to painting, right, for a transfer. Well, oh, dagnabbit. Let's see. Did I not do this right? Where's my gap? Where's my gap? Well, oh, there it is. Okay, so I gotta be careful. If you leave gaps in the shape, you just gotta look and make sure. Yeah, it was a pretty big one, so no wonder it escaped. Okay, so this should now trap the. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we got the paper, and these are going to be all the things that we'll shade. So I still have my drawing is preserved, but now my it's a little hard to see because it's red. So here, what we'll do is let's see. We go up to the magic wand area, and you go to hue, saturation, and brightness. You can change the pencil to be white, or we could change its hue to be a different color if we wish, or whatever. This is something that's really handy because, you know, your drawing is really the matrix of everything that you're trying to do. So if it really feels like, you know, you could still use it and it hasn't been lost, you know, because you do want to cover it up. In real life, you're trying to cover it up. In this case, you know, we can just get rid of it in an instant and draw on top of it, or leave it in the drawing and build upon it. You know, it's really, but here it's good. It's, you know, it's helping us see kind of where things are, major areas. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm laying down just my major areas. And then when the time comes, like, and there might still be major areas in here, I could, for example, select the paper. Let's see. Oh, no, sorry, I'm in the drawing layer. I got to go back to here. So if I go back to the fill layer, I can select the paper. You can see I can actually add like ways to start to block out like larger areas of shadow and things like that as I start to, you know, take on the next layer of things. But hey, one thing I did want to do here is, looks like I came in and cleaned up part of the tail. So I'm just going to make sure I have my round brush in here, right? And I could quickly flood fill that, but I've been getting weird edges with flood fill, or the color drop. Flood fill is an old term from the 80s maybe, and it there was a software on the Apple IIgs called DazzleDraw, and DazzleDraw was like one of the first commercially available drawing applications on the computer, but the resolution was terrible. Pixels, right? Pixel art. But man, it was fun for me. Whew. Blew my brain. I was like, whoa, that is nuts, dude. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. So, all right. Loving this pretzel radio. Ugh. Smooth. Some fun R&B. Some smooth jazz. Funk. Motivate. Okay. So just cleaning up some of the edges, just sort of thinking about what, what I want my fish to do and be and feel. I mean, this is, oh, hey, sorry. Okay, I should get like a nice clean. Oh, it's a little too skinny. There we go. So here I want to all right. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start to think about now just kind of some shading and things and some details, with what's going on in some of these areas, because I can start to take away the sketch and it can start to live on its own. Okay. If I'm seeming hesitant, I haven't done this yet. I'm excited to play with this kind of drawing, What I love to do is find something that's composed really well. In this case, I really loved the herrings and, got some reference for how I wanted to see this fish. And, now I'm rebuilding it in my mind. I've studied it and looked at it, and now I want to kind of see, like, how can I construct it again to be something interesting. And I want to add some fried ishness to this, and that's fun too, is really exploring food textures. Food textures are like wild and weird, and it's like they're everything about certain dishes. So this needs to be like fried nicely. So that's how we're going to make that happen. If you're just rocking with us, say what's up. If you can, in the chat, you can drop a hello and say hello. We're chilling, and that's it. All right, back to the herring. Okay, so let's start with adding some shadow, right, and some play with that. I'm getting back on the horse here. All right, so now that I've done these fills, right, I have this space where I can start to build, all the different areas and things. So I'm going to keep my 2 layers because I'm only restricted to 2 layers, right? Because I'm using such a high-res document. I want to really be able to really print this really big. So keeping my sketch alive has been like a really fantastic thing. And so that's why I use the fills. So here we go. We're going to start to now work into the fills and add its shadow and highlight, right? Make it be something really fun. All right. So, okay, let's before we do the body, let's start with the paper. Okay, I have like a vision for the paper. So I'm keeping on the color that I'm using already. It's like a terracotta, and I'm sliding this slider over, right? Chip, chip, cha, chip, 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 cha, just to something like a little bit deeper. So that way then I can go to my brushes, and I'm gonna find this Melaleuca, okay, which is a really great textured brush. I really like it a lot. And if you make it like transparent, it like gets like a real nice messy look. So it looks like scumbled shadow. So I like that a lot. Let's see if we can make some greatness happen here. So, all right, we're gonna have to go, we gotta go a lot bigger so we can control sort of the body of the, oh, that's a little heavy. Oh, that's why, because I'm sliding opacity. Damn. All right, it has been a minute. Okay, here we go. Make you a little smaller. Oh, yeah. Cool. Sorry, I get excited about dumb stuff, but I just, what I love about this tool is that like it really lets me kind of quickly prototype, like in fast, high res, my visions, my dreams, and it's like, man, it's cool. So sorry, I still think that's rad. I still think the internet is rad. That should be my bumper sticker. I still think the internet is rad. Just sounds sad. It's like, I still have AOL hours to burn. I have all these discs saved in a closet, all right? And I need to get all these AOL disc hours used, okay? I need to hear that you've got mail. It soothes me. Oy, that's terrible. Terrible what the old internet sounds were. Oy, nuts. All right, so I like this color, and if I tap it in my, well, I have a sandwich palette here. I was playing with sandwiches with pastrami, but here we'll add the herring. All right, do I have room to add a new? All right, anyway, but I added this color to my other palette. It's in my sandwich. It's not organized is what I mean. Okay, but what I want to also look for is also like a lighter color that goes up the spectrum here. So I'm going to eyedropper the terracotta back to basic right here. There it is. I have it already in the history. But then I'm going to slide upward. Okay. And I may need to, yeah, it looks like I may need to do that too. Okay. So what I'm doing is I slid the overall gamma right up the brightness area here. It's really the brightness. And then I also slid the colors inward. Okay. And that's going to give me, because it goes towards white inside the color wheel, we're going to be able to now have the ability to paint some brightness, okay, into the space. So that's cool, right? And now I can start to think about like what I'll do here. And like the bigger I go, like I can kind of lay in some more roughed type of areas here and whatnot. And like, cool. Yeah, I can vignette the paper a little bit. I can kind of define that side a little better. Yeah, I like that. Sweet. Yeah. And of course on the top here. Cool. Right? So like now I have a complex but really simply done system here of like creating shade and light, like general shade and light, right? Like we want to know that the object has shadow, and that like the paper, because it's crinkled, it's created facets which show light in a different way. So we've defined that a little bit better. It's really just a good, simple, but smart move. And then, you know, I've got this highlight that I built, this color that really comes from, you know, sliding open the brightness, and then also, you know, sliding the colors inward. That's just an important step, something we want to make sure that we get. Okay. So, you know, that's good on the paper. There's other detail I want to do on the paper going forward, but like I would say at this stage, like the general stuff is done where I'd like it to be, right? So I can unselect that now, and then you know, just taking a look at what's going on. And if I were to remove the drawing, right, it's a very eerie fish, but yeah, we've got just the different sections sort of laid out so far. So, all right. And what this allows us to do, because I made the fish head orange-ish, boom, right? We can just quickly, one touch, automatic, select it, and that allows us to now to like start to deal with it in a way. And then we'll be able to deal with the fish kind of as a whole once, yeah, you'll see, once we get it going. Okay. I do have a little hole here too I gotta fix, but I'll get to that when we go to the next thing. Okay, so what I want to do here is the fish head's a little too orange, so I want to get it to be kind of also goldish, a little more. Okay, yeah. So I just kind of stepped the hue down one tick, really like 10%, nothing major. Just because like I want to use that orangish color that I had as its shadow, really. So, okay, let's go back to there it is, the orangish color, and we'll pull it back so it becomes more shadow-like. We'll pull up in that Melaleuca brush again, right, and we'll now see we'll start to define areas, right? Like the fish head along this edge here. Right, will be some stuff. We get in smaller brush. Ooh, this is a smooth track. Oh yeah, here, let's get a little juice on this, a little volume. Oh, painting fishes now. Painting fishes now. Dope. Oh man, this is smooth. I love R&B. Okay, so I'm using the dark now to kind of like carve out some of the features that we're going to be dealing with. So, right, I was getting shadow inside the mouth because we see the mouth like that. So there would be a shadow from that top lip to the what's going on the bottom. And yeah. So you can see like we're starting to define the facets, and we're doing really kind of soft fills right now. Before we were doing hard fills with like the everyday round brush, you know, like really trying to make that a thing. And yeah, but now, yeah. So it might help to turn the fish this way. I'm painting it upside down. I didn't mention that. Yeah, I wanted that to kind of be, I don't know, maybe like extra dead. Just because I'm including the fish head, and I know like for certain folks that's gross. So, yep. So in doing so, I just wanted to examine the deadness. So, yep, soft fills just coming into, I'm going to make this color darker. I'm going to slide it some more, like 25%, and you'll see now it'll allow me to put down, I can also increase the opacity here, right? And like this is, there we go. So when it comes time to draw like an eye, I got to get a fill in there. Actually, I kind of don't. I don't want to, because the eye would say that it's alive, and it's not alive. So we'll have to be sensitive about that one. We'll see. Okay. Okay, cool. And then what I want to do also is like get some texture onto this thing, and then also play with some highlight color too. So, all right, if we go back to, and even in the history here, we can see that's the highlight. The new mid-tone I set like 2-3 steps ago. So now we're gonna go up the scale on towards yellow, right, which is more the body color of the fish. You'll see I'm gonna trade back and forth the colors. It's pretty neat. Melaleuca, right? That's the brush with the texture. And now I'm able to lay in some refreshing highlights. In fact, I'm gonna back that up and then just go bigger. I have the ability to lay in color faster in the digital space, so why not? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to build up color in certain areas, and just dab on it is what you gotta do. I want it to kind of exist, right? Like, just like shadow defines a body, you know, so does highlight. It's really important. And I've just been looking at fish and bin fishing as much as I can. Is, you know, not doing it here every day in my hometown, but yeah, see, and even highlight can be used like more on a detail level. That's neat, you know, there's little things. And yeah, maybe we'll start to create this eye, because this is not a living fish. This fish is fried, literally. Literally fried. Okay, so we'll go a little vague on the high, maybe a little bit. You know, I don't know about you guys. I'm a little weary sometimes of dead things, but you know, life is both life and death. There we go. Getting the deets. Okay, and I can go even like a little lighter still. There we go. Yep. And just like where there's some areas that I've already kind of gone into somewhat, I'm just touching those now just to add just a little more highlight, just to kind of brighten that up, you know, and take advantage of it. So that's where you get to kind of, and that's it, is massing color. It's pretty simple, pretty simple. All right, back to the shadow we were using before. Now that we're laying in some of the more heavier highlights, we should balance it out with some of that shadow. We're not ready yet for that size. Oh, hang on. Okay, yeah. All right. Whoa, Mike, whoa. Let's take it down a notch. There we go. Okay, that's better. That's better. Okay, and now that we've started to, because this part actually has shadow, but I wanted to wait until there was some of that color, because the shadow kind of like quickly transitions from the color, right? But this part here with the yellow and the way the yellow transitions to the orange here. So I needed to, you'll see. I needed to come in. I've just been looking at fish now for too long, and I'm just like, I see that, and I'm like, oh, okay. And, oop, a little too much. That lets me kind of come back in and like, you know, assert a certain color, or, you know, something like a little more shadow there. Yeah. Real tight here. This probably requires some shadow work. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, and now I'm making this brush smaller, and then going to where I've laid in heavier highlights. You always want to start thinking about now like creating the opposite shadow portion, and that's how you create like a, we're going to create this eye, right? Like, but really it's like a fried eye. It's a fried eyes are fried. They're gross, but you know, whatever. It's dang good, man. Fried fish. Oh, I mean, what's your favorite kind of fried fish? Like, there's haddock is really good, turbo sole, herring. You know, these are fan favorites, y'all. And go. Let's get a little bit of that darkness back in here, right? It's a small but a significant shadow near that. That's why I put the detailing. So I was like, I should be working on that there. Okay. The other thing now is, let me get out of my own brush palette here. We're going to look at textures. Let's see. Let's see if there's stuff here. Okay. So what we're looking for is like something that we can use to like make the fish look stylized. So for example, hang on. Let's see if I can find elements. Yeah. Okay. So here, we're going to take clouds. Okay. Well, actually not clouds. We're going to take the water, and we're going to use, we're not going to put water marks on yet. We're actually going to paint water shadows. Watch. Oh, what's it doing here? Wait a minute. No. Why are you painting like that? I want it dark. Color dynamics. Uh-oh. That's a bummer. All right, I don't want that. Oceans, will that do it? Cool. Okay. So usually, like, we can, a lot of times the textures of an environment will have, will show up kind of in the skin of things. Or at least I like to do that. It's fun. So I'm trying to find these like textures in here that would be really good. Let's try clouds, Okay, hang on a sec. I lost my selection. There we go. Okay. All right, a little weird. Not gonna lie. All right, but that's cool, right? Like that right there, that worked out in my favor. So did that. Let's get these to be a little lighter. That's a little intense. Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Is that like I could get down with that, and that's acceptable. And that looks fish-like. It doesn't look like I've painted clouds there. And I can do the same, go back to my highlight color now. I can do the same thing, but on this side, right? Oh, that looks a little too cloud-like. There's a fine line, right? I can come in there now and paint on top of the shadows. You double paint on them. Oh, it works out great. Okay. Make this smaller. See what I can do if I make it smaller. Oh yeah, that's cool. Cool. Okay. So you see now, like I've got that section really kind of like, and that's neat. Okay. So what we can do now is we can call that part really done. We can turn that off, and you can see like the rest of the fish now needs its love. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna just sort of pour into making that kind of thing happen. And then here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go to the video here. Okay, we're gonna zoom this to right here. Okay, and then you guys are gonna watch the time lapse. All right, I'm gonna get my coffee. All right, recapping. Fight fans, we did it up. All right, and then we got up to this point now where we're gonna work on the body part of the fish. So here, if I turn off the drawing, right, you can see, right, like that's what we kind of deal with there. And we're gonna have to come back in. The drawing layer I'm gonna redo, but like with like a ink kind of a look to it. It should be real nice, real fresh. So, but in the meantime here, we're gonna paint it up. All right. Oh, one other thing. Let's put the selection back on. Okay, is very important. We got to add some flow fields here. Well, I'll do that in the overall. Yeah, let's yeah. I still have another attack on it. Okay, so selection, automatic. All right, we're gonna have to tune this one just because it got a little too close. Selection, automatic. There we go, better. So I lowered the tolerance of the selection slightly so it didn't blend in with that gold that I had set. It's gonna look close and similar, but yeah, it's all good. So we're gonna do the same thing with this. We're gonna build darker colors. So here, let's go to palettes. Let's make a new one. And we'll call this fish fry. Okay, I don't know who Trisha is. F-I-S-H. Let's just stick with that. There we go. Okay. Bip. All right. So we got colors. Let's go back to the... Cool. So here we can do this and just tap in all these colors that we've been using in the history. And that's how you can keep yourself alive. Okay, cool. So this here, we said, where are we going? Harmony. back to this. Let's see. Disc. Where was I? Bummer, dude. Okay, there I go. All right. The harmony section. All right, so we want to take that, lower it down to like a nice mustard. Okay. Yeah, we're going to see about that, how that goes. Because that's a very cool shadow. Yeah. Okay. We'll see. I may go at it with the... Yeah, we may... Okay. Yep. I just swapped out that orange there. You'll see. It's just going to make sense. I'm feeling this out, so I'm learning as I go here. All right, let's get that reddish color and the Melaleuca. Going back to my brushes. Here's my favorite texture. Sweet, thanks. Okay, selection. You keep running away from me. Here we go. All right, boom. Coming in heavy, trying to match the thing, and then also understand that like we've got a little bit of fish. Yeah, here we go. Let's be smarter. All right, match it there, and then taper there. Okay, good. All right, and then yes, we are gonna have shadow on this side as well, because the fish really has like like 3 facets the way it's constructed. So there's a little shadow there, but not yet. Why? There we go. Let's fade that up. Okay. Okay, let's get some highlight here. Yeah, let's try some of this gold I'm using here. Okay, good. Now we're talking. Yeah, dope. So now we've got this, 3-faceted fish. So the mid-tone holds that middle part, the shadow we painted on the one side does the other, and then the third, the gold, is like the highlight. So like those 3 things are what allow us to, really make this have that color base first. That's always step 1, right? Good. So I'm happy with that. And then of course we're stenciled out, so everything else around it is not going to be affected by what we paint, and that's really awesome, right? Okay, so let's now let's double up on some of these shadows. I'm going with these warm shadows on here, I may at the end do an overall cool shadow. I've been really trying to be conscious of that lately, just to like make sure that I have a good balanced diet of shadows and highlights, right? All right, and then like we said earlier, we wanted to try and get some of those fun textures in there. So let's see, go back to those elements area, get those clouds, right, and paint some of these dark clouds. Oh, too small. Oh, too bold. It's just interesting. Yeah, that's cool. All right, and then let's go up to the eyedropper now and then do it on the opposite side, but I'm going to do it a little bit brighter. There we go. Neato. Okay. Yep, and then we're going to make this part a little more highlighted because it's like the bent part of the fish. Because the tail's like popping up, so that's the thing we want to make sure is kind of there. So we'll go back to the is a different gold. Okay. Good. All right. So we're cutting in on these now, starting to lay in, you know, what's what with the shadow. Now, we have a fin here, so we're going to have to deal with it here and now. And we'll go back to the nice dark terracotta. And where we want to be here, where we want to be is Melaleuca. Oh, no, not that one, Melaleuca. Okay. And let's go smaller. It's way too heavy. And we want this shadow to be heavier and fade out as it makes its way, because like then it looks like the wing is like lifting off somewhat. You know, when you have a stronger shadow, it means something's tighter to the body. So in this case, right, we want it to look that way, right? So this will be like the one fin that will be present on the side of the body. So we'll have to give it a little, you know, a little something, but it's going to be fried crispy. So we're going to have to work that out. Okay. All right. And then I suppose, well, I guess we're going to come in secondarily with the, yeah. Great. Okay, let's see again. We start to remove the thing, right? And here we go. We got this painted fish. And like I said, we are going to come back in with some nice, strong, bold lines. As a way to wrap it tight, right? You see how even like the little blue sketch really even helps it. It's, yeah, that line is important, and we'll make that really occur nicely. So, yeah, that's what's up. All right, rolling. Quick coffee break. So if you've not seen, you know, Van Gogh's herring, you should go check it out. All right, and then look up the origin of fried fish, and you'll see that it came from Sephardic merchants, right, who were traveling up and to and from many ports of northern Europe. And yeah, when you fancy a fish and a chip, right, that's a combination of a lot of cultural things. Really cool. All right then. So we got these fins now, and I was thinking with the fins was to do like a removal type thing. So I'm going to select all of the fins as they are. Okay, good. All right, that's nice that one has a little hole in it. Actually, I don't mind that. All right, let's get that selection selected, and I'm going over to the eraser tool. Okay, and I'm looking in the eraser. Let's see if we can find something that's like scrawly and really raspy, like a dry media, you know, like charcoal. Let's see, maybe in drawing here. Yeah, some of that's good. Sticks looks pretty good. Let's see in painting. Dry brush looks cool. All right, let's see. I haven't messed with those, so let's see what we can do with them. So what I'm hoping to do is, yeah, is that functioning? Maybe not. Maybe that's not the one. Looks a little rough, a little smeary for me, frankly. Not into the smeary. Hearts, let's see. Ooh, I could get down with that. Let's see. That ain't the one. Let's see, we try textures. Oh, it looks a little too scattery. Let's try Dove Lake. Let's see. Oh, it said lake in it. So, ooh, that's cool. what I'm hoping to do here is to like get some kind of scrawly elements going in there, like, a little rugged, little inking. Let's see what inking has here. Not what I'm looking for. Organic, let's see. Swordgrass, mountain ash. Ooh. Let's see what that does. I like that. All right, I'm into that. Cool. So what I'm doing here actually might not be the move, because when I erase it, yeah, that's not good because there's nothing behind it. Capiche, capiche. All right, so that's called Hessian. It's in organic. So let's go here. Organic. Hessian, okay. And what I'm going to do now is, because I have those selected, oop, that's way too small, way too intense. Let's see. Ooh, that does good. Yeah. Cool. Oh, somehow I lost that top fin. I'll have to incorporate that into the selection at another point. Cool. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to add some texture to these fins, so that they look like they're real, right? And usable fins. And I like what's happening so far here. That's a little much, but okay. No, it's deliberate. Let's play here. Okay, I do want to add that. Cool, to the mix. Got it. And just introduce some of these textures here. Lower that. Yeah, lay that in nicely. All right, then. Cool. And I suppose I could just do it across the whole thing. Especially because this one has to sit here where it rides along the edge of the body. So like I'm going to now use those two stencil spaces to, kind of inform each side, right? Each of the shadow, the fin side and then the body, right? The way the body would meet it. So it looks real, right? Realish. Natural would be a better word. Natural. Okay, let's get this. I'm not sure if I saved that color. Yeah, I suppose I did in the history. Okay, oh, whatever. So we want to just slide that back so it gets to what its darker value is, and that looks like it's a darker gray. Okay, and then we'll let's try a different texture here. Let's try sable. See what that looks like. Oh, that's a linear brush. That's very interesting. Oh, I see how this works. Okay. Ooh, spires. That's interesting, but that's not what I need. That is a cool texture. Very cool, rugged, rough texture. Let me go to my Melaleuca. That's really what I need here. Is I just need that familiar control. Oh, hang on, back on. Okay, so I just need to define this kind of area here. Just don't want it to look too... Okay. Ooh, loving this Beats Antique style music here. Pretty fresh. Okay, I'm just kind of putting this shadow on here. Yeah, this is the cool shadow. So it's based on a cool gray. Versus the shadow I've been using so far is like a terracotta, and you can see the difference. you know, really, well, once I take the selection thing off, you'll see that like the cool shadows tend to really be more shadow-like, and then the warm shadows tend to be more like the darker color on something. That's just sort of seems to be a good general rule. Yeah. Okay. I'll overdo that, but I'm also going to cut back on it. So, okay. So now I'll take go to the color, go to there, and then watch, I can take the color we used, where was it? Organic? Hessian. Yeah, okay, cool. You'll see here, watch, let's see how to do this here. Make that bigger. Yeah, I can cut back on that. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. This is a good song. Let's just go like kind of whitish and see if we can't like add some, there we go, some highlight. Cool. All right. So turn that off, right? We see we've got now textures and general chiaroscuro. Let's see. I think that's how you spell it. But basically, you know, that like an object has definition and facets, you know what I mean? This is supposed to be like an orb. Sorry. You understand what I'm saying? So like that's an important part of what we're doing here is that we're, you know, establishing the roundness of something. That's, you know, a really important thing that we got going on here. Right? Okay. Cool. So now I think we can start to think about, I guess the outline some. Yeah, because if I can sandwich everything into the space, that works out pretty good. So, all right, we got Pretzel Radio on here. This is a really good channel. I'm really enjoying this. We've been at this now for almost an hour. This is going pretty good. We are working on the herring. So, okay, so we'll try to bust some outline here, and then I think we're gonna make this a 2-part series. Okay, we're gonna cap it here. We'll stop in about 5 minutes. All right, and then we'll come back for the next stream to come. Okay, where we'll work more on the herring. We'll get it all finished. Yeah, if we sit and do this, it's gonna be 2 hours. So we'll do a part 2. We'll take a quick break, stretch out, and we'll come back at a later date. Okay, all right, but getting close on this, right? Really thinking about what's going on with this is I'm a 2-layer worker here, right? I've got my original fish sketch there, right, from reference. And this is based on Van Gogh's herring, okay, that we're doing here. Okay, so what we want to think about is now the outline. So I'm going to be going up to this second layer, and that's where I have my sketch layer, right? So I can start to now think about like redrawing areas and getting it to be really tight. But what I'm going to do is, instead of using white, okay, or blue like I was before, I'm actually going to shift the color now. I'm going to use my sketch. I'm just going to use it. You'll see. So I'll go now to the magic wand. I'll go to hue, saturation, and brightness, and I'll saturate it some, and then I'll shift through the hues. You'll start to see now that like when we get towards like an orange or a yellow, yeah, that's real nice. We can go now towards darkness, right? but in that hue. That'll take it more towards black if I take out saturation. I don't want to do that. I want it to have really like to be a dark, like ox blood red, you know, really, really dark value, and just touching that area. Yeah, that's great. And then we have like warm outline, and then we'll mix that with cool shadow, and that'll be funky. So, okay. Good place to start on this, because now this is looking, you know, like a fish. Looks like the fish melted into the paper somewhat. But that's all right. That's all right. We're going to work with it. And I'm going to play with, let's see, I had in my thing here, not the Cloud Weaver. Yeah, this Victor. This Victor was fun. So here, we're going to, because it's really, really texturous. It has like that little break in it. I like those like kind of lines that have a little break ishness going on in them. Okay, let's see what we're working with here. Okay, so good. I'm in that top layer. Make this guy bigger. And really, oh, that's way too big. Something I can push down on nicely. Okay, so. I'm gonna be really conscious of the pressure, right, as I lay that down. What do y'all think? That might be a little too rough. Well, maybe. Might be a little too rough for me. Yeah. Let's try round brush. All right, I had high hopes for Victor, but some days I'm feeling it, some days I'm not. This just might be. Oop. So I'm using a monoline brush, and that means that like no matter how I push, it's always going to be. Right, it's always going to be what I want it to be. But that's cool because then I can come in and add some of these like line fluctuation things here, right, and clean up as I need. And I just know it feels like a marker, like I always have control over the line. So I'm putting some line weight around the mouth there because I want to put the emphasis there. I'm going to put a lot of heavy line weight along the whole bottom of the fish, actually, because, yeah, again, I want to emphasize with line now the shadow portion. Yep. Okay, so I lay down like the one line, and now what I come in and do is where I want it thick, I'll double it back. And what's cool is I can use the second line to kind of create like a new emphasis, or a new kind of like a new line. So here you can see, right, I'll get that filled. And you'll see now like this emphasis that I'm creating. That's really cool. And I'll clean up some of this other stuff. I got a lot of noise going on in there with the sketch, but isn't that nice now how we do the extra thick line and leave the sketch? And just by like tweaking the sketch with the hue and saturation, you can really kind of take advantage of it and have it be a part of your drawing. I think that's just like the way to go. So yeah, that's a good take-home advice there. That's what's going on. That's it indeed. All right. Let's keep it rocking. We're doing good on this. I want to get some of this fish mouth here. I went towards the detail there when I didn't quite mean to yet, but it's all good. Sometimes you just gotta. Okay, I don't want to do my, let me get my single lines down first. Okay. Just started using these drawing tips. I really like them. They've been like, you know, my helping me with my ice skating, so to speak. I call this ice skating sometimes because that's what it feels like. I feel like I'm ice skating and trying to draw. It's essentially that like very unsure feeling. suppose I could probably go bigger on that. It seems to be going a little bit slower. I need it to be more emphasized, and then there we go. Getting it as close as I can, and then, you know, wherever I do a little deviation, a little wobble wave, I'll come back in and double that line. Yeah, seems to be better to use that heavier aspect there. So, all right, we got the herring in the paper. Going off of the Van Gogh composition, doing a little research about Sephardic Jewish history and culture, and some origins of fried fish. So if you fancy a fish and chips or a fish fry, in the summertime in the south of the United States, or in the cold streets of the UK, right, in London, or a sunny London day in the summer and you want a fish and chips, think about where this stuff may have come from, right? So long time ago, during the really 1400s, right, when there was a culture, or really pre-1400s, when there was a culture of Jewish merchants in Spain, in Iberia, fried fish was one of the kosher foods that a sailor could eat, and a lot of great fried fish recipes came of that. So that's a pretty neat thing. Give yourself a couple minutes, take a quick Google on that and see what that looks like, because that's fascinating. I love that, like, my culture gets to represent fried foods in such a profound way. All right, I don't want to follow that inner part. I want to start to follow now what I did with the fill. Yeah, you know what? Here, since the oh, I don't want that. Since the there we go. Since the drawing is by itself on its own layer, I can erase, the parts of the drawing I don't want. So I'll still do some further cleanup in here, right? So like, I probably don't want this, for example, but as you can see, there's a hole right there. So I'm gonna have to deal with it somehow. All right, but what I was saying earlier was now. Is that I can come in and I can add there we go. Cool. And then in doing this, what I can do is play with line variation, play with thickness. See, I put a lot of emphasis there, but then I can even further add like super obvious things. That's a little too thick for me, but cool. So see where it's going, right? Like where we're going to emphasize the bottom part with the line, and then just do thickish like lines on the top. That's the goal, and that's how I do my style sometimes. So I know I made this like kind of bulbous, but like we'll round it out. We'll add that little bit there to make it Okay, well, missed that part. Cool. Yep, I got that gap. I'll have to manage it here. It's a big gap. Cool. All right, so we're getting there. We're rocking the outline. We got the warm outline, and then yeah, we got a lot of work to do on this this thing still. So, like I said, we're going to do a two-parter on the fish. Okay. Cool. All right, so we're going to do this as a stopping point. We got inking to do still. We've got some more details to do, right? Close-up stuff. We got to do a whole flow field background. We got to add shines and shimmers and make this thing look like it's fried, right? So we're gonna do that. You'll see a lot of it. Those textures are going to be coming back. It's like painting trees. It's like painting fried food. So it's really true. So my friends, thank you for sticking with us. We're back after a little respite of holiday action, right? And coming back in, we got the new cam here. We're going to get it worked out a little bit better, but we can see now hand motions at the same time as seeing art motions and then mic motions. So y'all, this has been a lot of fun. Only part one of the humorous herring. Okay, so y'all, we're going to be coming back sooner, right? You can expect to see me next Tuesday for sure for the stream. That may be when part 2 is, but I might also just be feeling it and then want to rock part 2 and a pop-up stream. So I will try and let y'all know about that as soon as possible. If not, it'll be up on my archive and you can watch this video in the 2 sections. But my friends, this is Mike Worth, and thank you guys so much for rocking with us here on the fried herring at night, right? Part 1, that's it. Thank you, friends. Peace.